Mama, I need your food.
What's going on in there?
Nothing. Here, Mama. I'm calling it first and I'm 6. And my name is it's right there. A castle? A theme park? And selling ice cream. I like research and flying in a bouncy castle. What? I don't know. In the car? Nah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. As you can see, Lyric had an absolutely dream for a first day of homeschool. I think that a large portion of that can be attributed to the soft start that we had last week, where we sort of fell into more of a structured routine and reviewed some of our core curriculum. I want to make it perfectly clear that not every day of our homeschooling looks exactly like today does. Sometimes it looks a little like this. And other times like this. Okay, so
Action! Word tool! Adventure!
okay.
So what exactly is action words?
Oh yeah, okay, so action words are called verbs, right? And remember yesterday we talked about nouns. Do you remember what a noun was?
A person, place, or thing.
Awesome. So if a doctor is a noun, what type of noun would it be?
Human. But first, hold on. Let me show the girls and guys what action is about.
What kind of action word is that?
Screaming.
Scream. What is that?
A front flip.
A front flip. Is that an action word?
It's not exactly a word, but kind of. Yelling is an action word.
But today we happen to be on point with everything. One last thing, we actually had a killer session at the skate park prior to opening up our school day, so that might have had something to do with it as well. So if you've been following us, both of our kids are now in full swing with their individual school schedules. Dover is at Montessori preschool 3 days a week. He's still adjusting, but making progress every day, and he has good reports coming home, which are absolutely adorable. I just live to hear about his recounts of his day. So once again, he's going 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On those days, Lyric and I are home, and that allows me to give her the attention, the one-on-one attention that she deserves. And on those days, we also have a slightly heavier school load. Tuesday, Thursday is a little more fluid when Dover is with us. Some of the activities we try to gear around things that he can participate in. Of course, on Tuesdays, we have our co-op, and that's something that both of the kiddos really look forward to. If you're not familiar with the idea of a co-op, they come in all different shapes and sizes. The one that we got plugged in with seems to work really well for our needs right now. If you're out there and you're not familiar with the term co-op or cooperative, basically what it is a group of families that come together and share the education load. So in this instance, there are 12 children, and that includes the littles, and I believe we have five mothers, and we meet once a week for 2.5 hours a day, and there's a long play period followed by 20 minutes to a half hour of organized study time provided by the host of our co-op. We then break for more playtime, and we do a sit-down lunch together, picnic style. After our lunch and our cleanup, we rejoin in a group setting for a second lesson, and the second lesson is on a rotating schedule amongst the remaining mothers or families. And a couple of advantages to the co-op. Once again, it adds a little bit of variety and perspective. And of course, it allows for peer-to-peer interaction, which is always a plus. Real quick, if you're wondering how to get clicked up with a co-op in your area, I imagine that there are many ways to do so. In our particular instance, what we did was I placed an ad on our local Nextdoor app, just stating that we were a homeschooling family in the area, and asked if anybody else was, on the same path. And a woman reached out to me and she said, "Hey, we are. I happen to have a first grader, and we host a co-op in our backyard. And do you have any interest? We're looking to fill a couple of slots." So it was as simple as that for us. Other areas like you can check your community bulletin board, you can check in with a learning center. I know too that social media is real big, Facebook especially. A lot of homeschooling families come together in a local community, and they'll place posts on Facebook and so on. So I do hope that you find that information somewhat helpful and encouraging. I know that adding this co-op to our homeschooling schedule one time per week has really balanced us out, and it was the missing link from our experience last year. So I highly encourage it if it interests you. Okay, so moving on. Aside from school, there is still so much to share about our week. Please check out this next portion of our clip to discover how we spent the rest of our time this week. As you can see, we are finally coming to a close with Lyric's room renovation. It was a tumultuous task. Really, I expected it to be a weekend project, and one thing just sort of turned into another thing. And if you've ever taken on a home project, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're really happy with the end product. And I will have a before and after as we add the finishing touches in the next week. So be sure to check it out in our very next video. Thank you so much for hanging with us, and please be sure to check us out next week for more reels of our homeschooling experience. This is their teacher Skates.